All right, so moving on to the next segment, I'll be sharing my college football prediction for this weekend's matchup against Texas and Ohio State. So it doesn't get much bigger than this. You have the number one ranked team in the country, Texas, going on the road to play the reigning defending college football champions and the third ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. This is going to be a huge, massive game, and these are my following storylines heading to the big matchup Saturday afternoon. So you have the number one ranked team in the country, the Texas Longhorns, taking on the reigning defending college football champions in the third ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. It's a big matchup, SEC versus Big Ten football, a big time matchup that will be taking place this upcoming Saturday in college football. And it's actually a rematch from the Sugar Bowl that took place in the playoffs. Remember, Ohio State did defeat Texas in the Sugar Bowl to advance to keep going in the college football playoffs, eventually defeated Notre Dame to win it all in college football. So this rematch is huge, and there's a lot of ramifications that could happen after this weekend, ranking wise, for the loser of this game. So in my opinion, it's a must win for either one of these teams because there's bragging rights on the line, your ranking, how you could be viewed by the committee, depending on how you lose this game. So there's a lot riding on this game for both Texas and Ohio State heading into Saturday afternoon. But how will Ohio State look in week one? Now, this is really huge for Ohio State. They are the defending champs, yes, but there has been a lot of changes at Ohio State since then. There's a new quarterback in town. Remember, Will Howard did declare for the NFL draft, and he was a sixth-round pick by the Pittsburgh Steelers, so he's no longer on campus. You have Julian Sayin, who is going to be their new quarterback this year. You have a new offensive coordinator. Chip Kelly left and became the new offensive coordinator for the Las Vegas Raiders. He went back to the NFL. Then you look at, on the defensive side of the ball, Jim Knowles, their former defensive coordinator, is now the new defensive coordinator for Penn State. So there's a new coordinators in town. There's a new quarterback at the starting helm. That they lost a lot of talent to the NFL draft. There's a lot of question marks really concerning Ohio State and how they're going to look. Can they be that same dominant team that they were just a year ago? Then another storyline is, how will the new quarterback on the block in Arch Manning look? Now, Quinn Ewers did get drafted by the Miami Dolphins in the later rounds, so he's no longer there. But Arch Manning has been with this Texan Longhorns program for the last 2 years. He's now just become the full-time starter there. And how will this Texans offense look? Because just like Ohio State, they did lose some talent on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, looking at Matthew Golden, who was a first-round pick by the Green Bay Packers, he was really effective at the receiver position, one of the best receivers that was a part of the 2025 NFL draft. Isaiah Bond is also in the NFL now as well. They have a new offensive line. There's 4 new starters on the offensive line. So how's this team going to look as well? There's a lot of question marks that are going to be answered for Saturday's game. But you look at the game plans, you look at Ohio State. One of the game plans and their most effective game plan that they should have on the offensive side of the ball is feed number 4, Jeremiah Smith. One of the best wide receivers. No, he is the best wide receiver in the country. The best wide receiver in the country. Feed him and give him the ball early. If Julian Sayin has got to get him going in the slant routes, screen plays, intermediate routes, get his confidence going by giving Jeremiah Smith the football early on. Let him get going. Last year he averaged 17.3 yards per catch. So if you get him going early, build his confidence, he's going to be unstoppable to guard on that football field. So number 4 needs to get fed the football as early as possible. And I think Texas should run the football and be physical and be violent in the trenches against Ohio State. Because if you could be a physical, setting the tone, establishing the tone, getting into offensive rhythms, running the football, you take a lot of pressure off the shoulders of Arch Manning. And that could, on the road, mind you, and that could be a really key, pivotal reason why Texas does win this game. Plus, if you run the football, it just opens up the playbook more because you could have Arch Manning running the football. We all know he's a effective dual threat quarterback running the football as well. So this could open it up for Texas. They could get going like this against Ohio State. Key matchup. I want to see Texas defense versus Julian Sayin, Ohio State's quarterback. Now, I think Texas is going to have that mentality defensively. We're going to make the quarterback beat us. If you beat us, it's going to be because the quarterback play was solid or very elite that day. But you look at Texas, yes, they did lose in the Cotton Bowl to Ohio State. But if you guys remember, Will Howard wasn't the reason why that Ohio State beat Texas. Texas beat themselves offensively with careless turnovers and not moving the ball down the field and not be able to cash in on points. Can they take Julian Sayin out of the game early? Because if he could do that, the Texas defense can put the Texas defense can put Texas in good field position and make Ohio State's defense in bad positions. So I think that's going to be very effective for Texas to do their thing on the defensive side of the ball and get Julian Sayin out of his rhythm and out of the game plan very early. But guys, this is going to be a very competitive, close game. I'm going to go with Texas to defeat Ohio State by a score of 23-20. Now, I think this is going to be a really close game. And I think if this makes sense for you guys, Texas needs less for them to go their way rather than right compared to Ohio State in this game. Because Ohio State has so many question marks heading into week 1. They are the defending champions, yes, but there's a lot of changes. They did lose some some talent to the NFL. They also have Julian Sayin, their new quarterback. Is he going to be ready for the big stage week 1? Chip Kelly is no longer their offensive coordinator. They got a new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. Jim Knowles went to Penn State. So there's a lot of changes for Ohio State heading into this game against Texas. And I think it's going to be very important for Texas to run the football. I think they're going to set the tone offensively, running the football. Arch Manning running the football as well. He is an effective dual threat quarterback. If you can open up the playbook with Arch Manning, the RPO system, using his legs, this will be a very key ingredient for Texas's offense and be a big reason why they do defeat Ohio State on the road. They have a big statement win week 1. And I think that Texas is going to lean on their defense as well, get the key third down stops, create turnovers to put their offense in good position fielding-wise as the game goes on. But I think this game could come down to the final wire, the final possession. But I do like Texas winning this game 23-20 this weekend in college football.